you guys, Big T here. This is a new space blanket tarp that I made. I'm using cloth tape instead of the Gorilla Tape. It seems to be lighter and it holds very, very well. In addition to this also is I put a bug shelter on the inside. It's a stand sport product and it works really, really well. I added some bungee to the tape, kind of gives it some flex. That works really well too, it just keeps the stress off of everything. Did the same thing up here on the top where the ridge line continually runs all the way through to the other end of the tent. Use these little S-beaners to kind of hook them all together. And inside you can see here I have the bug netting. It works really, really well. It tacks down on 4 corners. And then up here at the top I tie it around there. It was too tall, so I actually had to fold it over and tie it in a knot. It works really well that way. This is a back shot coming up. If you get too heated up, you can just put a stick in there. Just remove it if it's you don't need it. Kind of create some ventilation because you will be warmer in these things because of the reflective heat coming down. Now, one of the things that I've found is that on one side it's coated, on the other side it's not. So you want to make sure that you have the coated side up because you don't want that stuff flaking out and falling on you while you're sleeping. I don't know if that's good for you. Anyway, here's an internal shot of the bug netting. It works really well. You just plug one of the pegs out, you climb inside and put it back down. Now all you guys that are complaining about, ew, bugs, you don't have to worry about it anymore because you're not going to have to deal with it. Here's a shot of the bug netting, the black line, and you can adjust it with this little ball pressure thing, whatever it is. There's a picture of what it is. It's a single stand sport mosquito netting. Dirt cheap, get them online. I forget what I paid, it was really inexpensive. Here's a back shot of the tarp. I love this thing, it works really, really well. And what's great about it, if you decide you don't want to use this, you just lose the space blanket and now you're outside and you're in a bug-free environment also. This is kind of like the best of both worlds because you can tarp, go ultra lightweight, and still have the ability to be protected from the bugs. Like I said, I put face out because you don't want that stuff flaking on you from the inside. Here you can see I wrapped it around and tied it in a knot on the ridge line. And that just kind of kept it a little bit lower profile so I didn't have to go as tall on my ridge line. And here you can see where I tied it around my trekking pole to kind of create the tension on that bug netting. Here's a shot going down at it. Like I said before, you can take the space blanket off and here's what you got. You can now have bug shelter outside. If it's a nice night, you don't need shelter on top of you, then there you go. Here it is, just kind of doing a little walk by on it. It's a great system. It only weighs 5 ounces. There's another shot of it there. And you can see the trekking pole is much higher to give me that angle that I need so I can have this hanging properly. And I find it works well throwing the space blanket over there, or even a sill nylon, whatever you want to use. It works really, really well this way. I'm going to show you some pictures here in a second of what this netting is, what the weight is, and all this stuff. You can see here's a little package it came in the bag. Oh, by the way, I used Tyvek for my ground cloth. Now this is a big honking piece. You don't need this big a piece. This weighs 7.9. I've got a smaller one that weighs I think 5 ounces, but this is just one of my larger ones. And here we go. Are you ready for this? What is that? 4.7 ounces? That's just like nothing. This thing weighs a little over 5, so you know you're just going to be saving all kinds of weight. And this thing, the Tyvek, weighs 7.9, which I showed you before. And my ridge line comes in at, what is that, 1.9 ounces. So you can just see overall it's really super lightweight. Here's my titanium stakes. They weigh a bit. But you know, like again, you can go light. You can just use sticks out there. You don't have to use it. Look at this combined thing all together. It was at 1.79.